Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another video where I talk about the trips I went on. This video is going to be part 1 of my trip to Colorado. Now, on this trip, me and my mom did a lot, and some of the things we did weren't about dinosaurs, which is a good thing because it's good to have variety. So, this episode is going to focus on the things non-dinosaur related we did on the trip. There will be 2 more videos about the trip to Colorado, one all about the dinosaur related things we did, and another video that combines everything into one in the order we did them. Anyway, let's waste no more time and get right on into it. Day 3. Day 3 was the day that me and my mom went to Boulder, Colorado University, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, which I'll talk about in part 2, the Denver Zoo, and the downtown aquarium. Let's start with the Denver Zoo. The Denver Zoo was a really cool experience that has a lot of really cool and unique animals. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see all of the animals because the weather wasn't too great because there was thunder and rain, so most of the animals were in the indoor section of their enclosures. However, we still got to see a lot of really cool animals. The first animal we got to see was the lion. Unfortunately, I don't have a great picture of it, but still, lions are really cool animals. Then we saw some penguins, which again, I didn't get a good picture of. Then we saw an ostrich, which is a really cool bird, and one I had never seen before in real life until I went to the zoo. Then we walked into a different section of the zoo, where there were some bears and a pair of interesting looking raccoons that had white and orange fur, which was pretty cool to see. Then we went back to the area with the lions and ostriches, and we got to see the giraffe walk out of its indoor home and eat some food. After that, we got to see some seals swimming around, and I got some cool pictures and videos of them, which are on screen right now. Then we entered a section that was full of reptiles and amphibians, and I know not everyone likes reptiles and amphibians, so I'll provide a timestamp if you want to skip to the next part of the video. So, first you are greeted by some camouflaging lizards, which unfortunately I couldn't find, but we also got to see a cool looking iguana that was just chilling on its branch. Then there were some bats that were flying around in this cave enclosure, which looked really cool. Then there were a plethora of frogs that each had really cool and unique colors and were just really cool to look at. Look at this guy. He looks like he's plotting his escape. After the frogs, there were plenty of snakes like a king cobra, which was hiding somewhere, West African gaboon viper, a western green mamba, and plenty more. Then there were some capybaras, which are pretty cool animals, 2 albino alligators that were so cool, and I got some cool pictures and videos of them. There were also some sloths up high in the trees. Also, yes, I know, sloths and capybaras are not reptiles, but they were all in one area, so I figured I might as well talk about them now. Then we went into this indoor exhibit that had even more reptiles and amphibians. However, the first thing you see when you enter the building is an aquarium with a pufferfish and lionfish. There was also a snapping turtle, which was really cool to see, as well as some long-necked turtles. Then there were some more lizards like the Komodo dragon, a monitor lizard, and this guy that kept posing for the camera, which was pretty cool. Then there was a crocodile, which was really cool to see. Then there were some more lizards and snakes that looked pretty cool. There was a gecko that would stick to the glass, 2 frilled-necked lizards, and plenty more. There were also some spiders, but I am not a fan of arachnids, so I didn't take pictures of them. After you leave the reptiles, you can go out into the tiger enclosure, and the tigers walk all around you, and it turns out one was sleeping above our heads, which was pretty cool. Then there were some bongos, and a gray-crowned crane, which looks really cool, and a bird I've always meant to see in real life, which I haven't before until I went to the zoo, which was really cool. Then we went to the other side of the zoo to go see the orangutans, and then the zoo was about to close, so we left. There are plenty more animals at the zoo that I'm sure are really cool, and I highly recommend that if you have a chance to go, you should go. Also, I am not sponsored in any way, I just think that the zoo was really cool. Okay, next we went to the downtown aquarium. The first area had a really cool tank with gar and other fish with a waterfall. There was also a snapping turtle and some otters which were in their den looking adorable. Plenty of fish, as you would expect from an aquarium. Then you move over to a different part of the aquarium that had a tank full of sturgeon and catfish. There was also a mosasaurus skeleton in the wall, which is pretty neat. The next area, they had an emerald tree boa and a toad in this area, as well as a really cool environment with some fish that look pretty neat. Then you move on to the ocean section of the aquarium that had seahorses, starfish, a green moray eel, stingrays, guitarfish, a nurse shark, a sea turtle, and plenty more. I also recorded plenty of footage of all the animals swimming around that look pretty cool. Next, there were some more sharks like the cloudy cat shark, leopard sharks, and a horn shark that I got plenty of great pictures and videos of. as well as a cool fish that could stick to the glass, which I think is called a lumpfish, and a big colorful fish, which is a California sheephead. Then you enter a rainforest section with piranhas, pig-nosed turtles, plenty of different species of fish, poison dart frogs, a tiger, which I wasn't expecting and we didn't see too well, a mantis shrimp, and a cuttlefish. Then you go into the coral reef section with a lot of really cool looking fish. You might recognize some of these fish like the blue tang and the schooling bannerfish and the clown triggerfish, but there was this really interesting looking fish called the prickly leather jacket. Then there were some zebra goby fish, which I haven't really seen before, and they have really cool colors, and their tails are kind of like bent downwards, which is interesting. Then you go into this tube where you can see some sandbar sharks. Then there was this tank with a bunch of colorful fish like the sunset wrasse and a moon wrasse. Then in this big tank there were plenty of sharks like the sawfish, sand tiger sharks, and a black tip reef shark. After all that, there was a section with jellyfish, and one of the tanks had lights that would light up the jellyfish in all kinds of colors, which was really cool to see. And when you exit, you are greeted by a stingray touch pool, which was really cool, and of course, I had to pet the stingrays. It was a really cool and neat experience to pet these cool animals, and it was really weird kind of seeing what a stingray felt like. Like, it's kind of slimy, but it's cool. But yeah, similar to paleontology, I've always been interested in any form of biology, whether that's working with animals on the land or in this ocean. But that is going to have to end this part of my trip to Colorado. Stay tuned for part 2, where I talk about the dinosaur part of our trip, and part 3, where I tell the entire story in order. But that is going to have to wrap up this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to press the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!